This is Rtv6 News at 6, working for you.
Now at 6, the new details we are learning regarding the arrest of the mayor of Muncie. Tonight, the federal charges he faces and the latest on the FBI investigation.
The clouds aren't going anywhere. In fact, I'll talk about some rain and maybe a wintry mix for tomorrow. All the details ahead.
The Southport High School boys basketball team banned from this year's state tournament. The accusation against the coach. It involves money and a recruit.
It was just a senseless act of vandalism that affected so many people in our neighborhood.
Neighbors are frustrated after criminals target cars in Broad Ripple, the string of break-ins, and the message police have for you tonight.
If you don't mind getting your hands dirty, we may have the job for you. The industry that's hiring where it's okay to have a cow.
Good evening to you here at 6 o'clock. I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starantino.
First up here at 6, the mayor of Muncie arrested and facing federal charges.
He's accused of stealing government money. Rtv6's Stephanie Wade has been digging into this story all day long for us. Stephanie, what have you found out?
Mark and Amanda, hundreds of interviews, dozens of search warrants, and hours of surveillance later. United States Attorney Josh Minkler announced today Mayor Dennis Tyler has been indicted on corruption-related charge stemming from a 4-year-long investigation.
When people in positions of public trust choose to line their pockets at the expense of the very people they serve, the costs can be massive.
Mayor Tyler now becomes the 7th person at Muncie City Hall to be arrested by the FBI. U.S. Attorney Josh Minkler says the mayor accepted a $5,000 illegal cash payment to steer work to a local contractor. They arrested him at his home Monday morning. Were you surprised?
Very surprised.
The FBI investigation into illegal payments for public works projects has been ongoing for 4 years now. Federal investigators first raided the office of the building commissioner, Craig Nichols, back in January of 2017. He has since been sentenced to 2 years in federal prison, pleading guilty to wire fraud and money laundering. Muncie's sanitary district administrator and former superintendent of sewer maintenance, as well as 2 contractors, have also been charged for getting kickbacks in exchange for city projects. Mayor Tyler did not run for re-election this year. New mayor Dan Ridenauer will take office on January 1st.
Well, this has become a pattern in our community of late. I am pleased that 2 weeks ago, the voters overwhelmingly supported turning the page for a new day in Muncie. My commitment to all Muncie residents is to fulfill the request our fellow citizens made at the ballot box, to shine a light on the dark corners of city government, to demand excellence from those who serve our residents, and above all, to operate in an honorable way on your behalf.
Just hope the new mayor did a big job.
Attorney Minkler says this investigation is ongoing. He would not comment on whether we could expect more arrests in this case or not, or how this impacts, if at all, their current investigation into the Muncie Police Department for excessive use of force. We are live downtown. Stephanie Wade, Rtv6.
Stephanie, thank you. It is a dark and cloudy evening across central Indiana. Here at 6:03, we'll give you a live look from the Rtv6 tower camera. Rain and possibly more wintry weather is possible. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory in the tracking center looking into what's ahead for us.
You know what? We've gone through a few thresholds, right? We had our first snow, seeing it on Halloween. We had our first measurable snow a little over a week ago.
Yeah, last week.
We can handle it all. So if we have a melting snowflake or 2 tomorrow, no big deal. That may be the case in the northern half of the state in the morning hours. Lots of clouds now, you know that, all day long. Clouds have been hanging out. Our chance for showers increases really after 7 or 8 in northwest Indiana tomorrow morning, then sliding to the south and east from there. We're 38 right now. We were 38 last hour. We were 38 the hour before that. Temperatures have changed very little. 40 in Bloomington and Muncie. Temperature a little cooler in Zionsville at 35. If we see any breaks in the cloud cover, they'll be brief tonight. Sunset this evening at 5:27. In the morning, it'll be a cloudy start, and the temperatures working their way up by mid to late morning into the low 40s. We may see a snowflake or 2 mix in the western portion of the state as this begins. There we are at 10 a.m. Showers covering the western half of the state. Hit and miss showers at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And it kind of solidifies, comes together in the eastern portion of the state through the afternoon into the early evening hours. Want to show you this. Temperatures tomorrow still in the 40s. We jump Wednesday. Temperatures will peak on Thursday and much cooler by Friday. There will be a transition with some rain. We'll talk more about a substantial rain, or at least 1/4 of an inch to 1/3 of an inch across central Indiana. We'll have that timing for you coming up.
See you soon, Kevin. Thank you. A violent confrontation at a Walmart store, and tonight 3 people are dead.
This tops the RTV6 news feed. 3 people are dead, including the suspect from a shooting in the parking lot of an Oklahoma Walmart. It happened in Duncan, Oklahoma, about 80 miles south of Oklahoma City. Investigators say they found a man and woman dead inside a car. The suspect was found dead outside the vehicle. Police say it appears the victims and suspect knew each other.
The Southport High School's boys basketball program, is banned from this season's state tournament, accused of a recruiting violation involving an international player. The IHSAA says Southport boys coach Eric Brand broke the rules when he allegedly paid the tuition of a student from the Democratic Republic of Congo who is a prospective player on his team. The IHSAA says that player will be ineligible for the upcoming season.
A father and his girlfriend are charged with neglect, and police say the man's 4-year-old child is fighting for his life. Noblesville police arrested Elijah Mills and Taylor Abrams over the weekend. Mills is charged with battery and neglect of a dependent, and Abrams is charged with neglect. According to court records, doctors at Riley Hospital for Children found bleeding on the child's brain, skin injuries, broken bones, and multiple forms of trauma.
Police in Kokomo are investigating after a man was found dead inside a home that caught fire, while police were already responding for a welfare check on Friday. Officers say they were on the way to check on 31-year-old Michael Vore, but before they got there, neighbors had called to report the home was on fire. Firefighters found Vore's body inside the house. His cause and manner of death, they're still under investigation.
There are 4 confirmed deaths related to vaping in Indiana, and today the State Department of Health launched a public awareness campaign called Behind the Haze to educate young people about the dangers of vaping. The Department of Health says the Indiana Youth Tobacco Survey found the use of e-cigarettes has increased more than 350% among Indiana middle and high school students since 2012.
If you don't have your flu shot yet, you have a couple more opportunities this week. Community Hospital East will hold a free flu shot clinic for adults tomorrow from 9 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon. The hospital will give out more free flu shots Thursday from 9 until 1. You have to be at least 18. The flu has already killed 3 Hoosiers this season.
It's costing people hundreds of dollars in one north side neighborhood. Several people filed police reports after their car windows were smashed over the weekend. Working for you, Megan Sanctorum is looking into what is being targeted and how you can help find those responsible.
This is the window that was shattered.
It's covered with plastic now, but Nicole Hagmeyer shows us where vandals hit her car, leaving a dent and glass everywhere.
And see where it was hit with something very hard.
She's just one of many who now have costly and time-consuming repairs ahead.
Every car on the right-hand side of the street had their windows broken in, busted into. There was glass lying on the road everywhere.
It happened sometime overnight from Saturday into Sunday. Neighbors all discovering the damage together Sunday morning.
As I looked down the street, several other neighbors were out with vacuums trying to clean up the street in the backs of their cars, and had noticed then that there were at least 7 other cars between my house and 6 houses down that had also been broken into.
And that's just her block. The vandalism continued south of 64th and onto Central as well.
People who live on this street say it's typically pretty quiet, and they've never seen any active vandalism to this extent with so many people impacted.
Everyone's pretty frustrated about it.
She doesn't believe the vandals took anything from these cars, but she still thinks it's important for police to track them down.
With the holidays coming up, this is now an expense that comes out of our pocket because it's not worth it to report it to insurance.
So she's urging her neighbors to check their security cameras.
He's hoping that someone between 66th and 63rd and Park, whether they were vandalized or not, may have something that they've seen on their home video surveillance that they could turn into the police department.
Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, RTV6.
And IMPD has a program called B-Link where you can register your home security cameras so investigators know where to go when looking for footage of a crime. In this case, it is still unclear if anyone from the neighborhood had signed up for the program. If you ever have safety concerns in your own neighborhood and you are not getting answers, turn to us. Email us at workingforyou@rtv6.com.
Well, it's a way to honor and remember the late United States Senator Richard Luger. Today, current U.S. Senator Todd Young announced the Navy's intent to name a guided missile destroyer in honor of Luger. The warship will be named USS Richard G. Luger. Luger served in the U.S. Navy. He was also a mayor of Indianapolis before becoming a United States Senator. Luger's family joined Senator Young today at the Indiana War Memorial in Indianapolis to take part in the ceremony honoring the legendary politician from Indiana.
Dick loved his Navy service and admired deeply the sacrifice that the talented men and women of the United States Navy make every day to protect the freedom, values, and way of life of our great country, and his beloved Hoosier compatriots in particular.
Richard Luger died in April. He volunteered for the U.S. Navy and served his country as an officer from 1957 to 1960. Well, if you don't mind getting a little dirty, there's a job that might be for you.
I went to a dairy farm and they are hiring. We'll show you the job description. You have to see what's involved.
Colts fans are happy about a big win over the Jacksonville Jaguars. If you're watching, you likely noticed this celebration after a touchdown that wasn't. We got the story behind Quentin Nelson's keg stand celebration.
It will all make sense after Dave's explanation. That's coming up. Showers around in the morning tomorrow. Temperatures, they're cool now, 38, but look across the Mississippi River. Temperatures warm up when some of that mild air arrives. Coming up.
For only $89 for On Time.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Hiring Hoosiers is connecting you to jobs in high demand, regardless of how dirty they might be.
The dairy industry is a workforce in transition as there are fewer farms but more cows on them.
I took a trip up to a Fort Wayne dairy farm where labor help is still needed and how you can help. It is a staple in most diets, milk, a powerhouse of nutrition with more than 9 essential vitamins and nutrients. Dairy is a part of everyday consumption. To get it to our tables, though, takes work, and it gets messy.
It gets very dirty at times, but we always try to keep everything as clean as we can, but sometimes you just can't help getting all dirty like I am right now.
Andrew Cunard is a 5th-generation dairy farmer at his family-owned Cunard Dairy Farm in Fort Wayne. These cows are part of his family, too.
Every single one's got their own personality.
While being around the animals all day can be fun, it's a job that comes with hard work.
Chores will start milking about 5:30 in the morning, and then we get done probably not till late 9 o'clock at night. Just depends on when we can get stuff done. So it turns into long days and long hours, but we got to truly enjoy what we do.
In Indiana, Hoosier farmers produce around 4 billion pounds of dairy per year, ranking the state 15th in production in the U.S.
Every other day we go through about 6,000 gallons of milk is what we produce. So we get that shipped to Prairie Farms, and they take that and get to that grocery store right away.
Each cow here at the Cunard Dairy Farm produces on average 10 gallons of milk a day, which does not need to be done by hand any longer. Instead, the cows line up several times a day to get milked by this machine.
With this, it's nice. They can come in and get milked. And the cleaning process is the same. The hookup process is the same every single time. And it's pretty neat that the cows want to come in. So the cows tell us what they want, and they keep telling us they want to get milked.
Although labor does not include hand milking anymore, there is still a lot of work to be done across the farm.
We're pretty much everything around here. Plumbers, electricians, construction, our own bosses, CEOs, and we have to do all that on the dairy farm.
Well-rounded experts in everything that pertains to the farm. According to the American Dairy Association of Indiana, one of the largest problems facing the industry is finding labor that is prepared for work. But the jobs, they are still there. Even though there are fewer farms, there are still just as many cows.
It's hard to find extra labor, and that's partly why we have so many family members that work here, is just the fact that we can do all the work with it, and that way we can take care of the animals.
For Andrew, the long days are worth it, and he hopes others can step up to fill the shoes of the very much needed dairy farmers.
Even though the job gets a little dirty at times, the milk comes out as clean as a whistle. Remember, winners drink milk. Cheers.
Cheers. Delicious. To learn more about the changing dairy farm industry and available jobs, go to hiringhoosiers.com. Kevin.
It was cold that day, huh?
Freezing.
Amanda told me she worked hard. She gave 100%. Cows only gave 2%. All right. Mild on Thursday. Actually, mildest day Thursday, but it's brief because you can already see the blues of cooler temperatures sitting to the north and west. This transition from nearly 60, at least upper 50s, to the 40s will contain some rain. Tomorrow, a few showers around, especially late morning through the afternoon in the eastern portion of the state. It'll kind of shift east, temperature 47. And then we make our move Wednesday, 50 degrees, and we'll get to rain likely again on Thursday. That Thursday rainfall, the potential is there, 1/4 of an inch in most cases, maybe a 1/3, but it should be fairly widespread. We'll at least all get some rain. Visibility, earlier in the day, we had a low cloud cover. We had fog as well. We still have some fog, but nothing really limiting visibility too much. Maybe along I-69 from Muncie up toward Marion and Fort Wayne, I-70 east toward Richmond. Temperatures to the north, 36 in Logansport, 3 degrees warmer in Frankfort and Clinton County, southern portion of the state. 40 was a good number today. We never made it there in Indianapolis. We started at 31. 39, the afternoon high, and we sit at 38 right now. Planner for tomorrow. Showers develop in the morning hours first in western Indiana, continue into the early afternoon. We'll have cloud cover when it's not raining. Temperature optimistically middle to upper 40s. There's the gray of cloud cover, 7 o'clock in the morning. 10 a.m. Showers along Interstate 74 to the west and I-70 between Indy and Terre Haute. Scattered showers at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That's what I was talking about in the eastern half of the state. I think more widespread showers in the afternoon hours tomorrow. That will all start to push to the east by the time we get to the evening. Temperatures Tuesday, just a little warmer than today. With the cloud cover in place, temperatures won't change too much. We're generally in the middle to upper 40s. 50 degrees Wednesday, a dry day, a mixture of clouds and sunshine. It will be windy. Watch the winds Wednesday night into Thursday start coming around to the south and southwest. They'll gust close to 30 through the day on Thursday. That will boost our temperatures from 50 on Wednesday into the upper 50s on Thursday. There's the rain lining up Thursday morning to our west. 7-day forecast. Temperatures peak on Thursday. They fall Friday. Coolest day in the forecast Saturday. Low confidence forecast weather. We'll see precip. One model keeps it well south of the Ohio River. The other gives us a chance for a little wintry mix of rain and snow. So I put that in there now. That way your hopes aren't too high for a perfect day, and then we fix it as we go along.
All right. You fix it.
There you go.
Low expectations. Okay.
Thanks, Kevin. Here's Dave now at sports.
Guys, thanks. Not too much time to enjoy the Colts win over the Jags yesterday, especially if you're the team's running backs. Confirmation today that Marlon Mack broke his right hand yesterday. Did have surgery today. Will be out for a while. But speaking of celebrating, there was nothing more unique than yesterday's. The goal line stand in tonight's Sports Extra Spotlight. They've been waiting to do this for weeks, and when the play call went in, there was instant excitement and maybe a little fear.
It took me by surprise because I was like, oh my God, yeah, we got to do this right now.
We're actually going to do this, aren't
Yeah, we've been practicing for a while, so yeah, unfortunately it was after like a 10-play drive where I just smoked.
The touchdown by Quentin Nelson was one thing, but it was followed by a simulated keg stand as a celebration, and everyone was in on it. How much practice goes into a celebration like that?
We probably did it 2 times, and we've had this goal line package in for the last 4 or 5 weeks, so we didn't practice it the last 2 weeks.
And yet everyone knew what to do. I mean, heck, even the quarterback was right there.
Man, I almost cried because that celebration was pretty cool. I hope that still can be like nominated as one of the best celebrations because I don't know how they picked him up.
For those that don't know, a keg stand is not uncommon in collegiate party scenarios. The one drinking is held upside down as others gather around to hold he or she in a proper position, all while drinking straight from a beer keg.
The keg stand form itself, is there prior experience that you have in doing that allows you to hop up like that?
No comment.
For the record, it was Braden Smith and Ryan Kelly who held his legs.
You held a leg, didn't you, on that?
Luckily, someone was holding the other leg, so, it wasn't too bad.
This truly is a team game when it comes to this.
For sure. I mean, one person not holding another leg, you don't have a good keg stand.
The referee just kind of screwed us over. We only had so much time to see, how long he could chug it for. The base, I'd say the base, we had his feet pretty high. I mean, he's a big guy. It's a heavy duty to get up there on the keg, but just all in all, just a hell of a fun time.
And in case you're wondering, Quentin checks in at 330 pounds. And upon further review, did not actually get into the end zone on the play, which took us to this.
I think he's a really good left guard, and I think we'll keep him there.
Just a lot of deep reflecting, like, man, I wish I had that play back and just like got lower, or moved my feet more to get in and pushed in. But, you know, we executed the celebration. That's what I'm really happy about.
The touchdown didn't count, but the memories of the celebration just might last forever.
Canton will be calling soon just for the celebration.
Oh, no question. I mean, I think it's already hit the internet pretty good. So, yeah, it just tops off, you know, kind of cherry on top on a great day.
Explaining what a keg stand is on television. We are working for you, no question about it. Colts with a practice today and tomorrow. Very quick turnaround for them as they get set for that Thursday night meeting down in Houston. Pacers Nets tonight at 11. The news at 6 continues after that.
Event cash. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
Well, it is time for the Rtv6 photo of the day. Take a look at this beautiful close-up shot of a moth.
It's not often you get to see a moth from this close up and view all of the little details that make this insect so magnificent. And who knew moths were so colorful?
It's got eyes on the back of its wings.
So we did some searching. I did a little research because we couldn't figure out moth or butterfly. So butterflies rest with their wings closed, and moths with their wings open.
Important distinction.
If what I read is true.
Right.
Remember, there's a 30% chance of what I tell you is true.
Thanks to Stacy Risk from Brownsburg for snapping it, though, and sharing that with us.
One thing's for sure, I rest with my mouth open.
Does it make you a moth?
I don't know what it is. All right, temperatures, the story. The coldest in the forecast, 31. The warmest, 57. Butterflies will be wanting to come back.
Right, with their wings closed. Thanks for joining us here.
We'll be back at 7. See you then.